I'd heard about this fracking thing, and it was coming, and at the time I was like a lot of other people. I wanted to help the farmers. I liked the little blue flame that we had been sold by the natural gas. Natural gas, it was natural, it was gas, it was natural gas. And energy independence, all these things were very appealing to me. And it was coming to basically my home where I'd moved my family. And so I was optimistic about it because that seemed to be the answer to coal. It was a lot of the environmental people believed this was going to be this bridge fuel, and so I was pretty pro fracking when I started this journey, and but I wanted to know about it because it was coming to my home. It was coming to my environs. It was coming to my neighbors. It was coming. And I didn't like the way it was unrolling. It was very, they passed the first a bill to do basic compulsory integration in New York State, which means that if 60% of a land area around a property is leased, then the other 40% is forced to put their property on the block. And so they passed that first, and I thought that was, and they did it like 2:00 in the morning when they're about to leave session. I thought it was not the kind of act that was welcoming a up and up debate on this. And so I started to look into it more, and I didn't like what I was seeing. I was hearing about people getting sick. I was hearing about wellheads exploding. And eventually I ended up in Dimmock, PA, which is basically ground zero right now. There's even the EPA right now, it seems, has been hiding information about what really has happened there. And I saw Americans that couldn't drink the water that was coming out of their taps, and whose wells were exploding, and kids were getting weird rashes, and I was sitting in a room with probably 40 people I was with Robert Kennedy Jr. at the time, who was very pro-gas at the time. And they were looking to us to save them. The whole system had collapsed around them. The AG's department, the DEP, every place an American goes to get safety or to get advocacy or to find help, had turned their back on them. And then there's me and Robert Kennedy Jr. And when they realized they're not going to get anywhere with Robert Kennedy Jr., they looked over at me, and all I wanted to do was run the hell out of that room. It was very confronting, and I didn't know what the hell I could do to help them. And so I basically left and went home that night, and it really was one of those moments where you kind of confront yourself, like, are you really who you say you are? Are you really someone who cares about your community? Are you really somebody who is willing to stand up and fight for the little guy? Are you really who you say you are? And if you are, then you better get your ass back there and see what you can do to help these people. And that sort of and then it was my family. These are my neighbors. These are my friends. This is my community. And that started me on the journey. And I was very reticent at first, and obviously have gotten bolder and bolder over time.